Corruption hinders disaster relief, leaving communities vulnerable as aid is misused globally.
Where local governments often manipulate disaster relief funds to serve their own interests. In this video, we'll expose the systematic corruption that leaves communities vulnerable, detailing how municipal bodies exploit loopholes and reallocate aid intended for recovery. So here's this is a Forbes article talking about how the Small Business Association potentially lost $200 billion in COVID pandemic relief to fraud and abuse. So the Small Business Administration may have lost more than $200 billion to fraud, waste, and abuse during its push to help small businesses during the pandemic through programs like Paycheck Protection Program. Now we're hearing word that California's got even more fraud than Minnesota. I'm just going to say that with bigger government comes bigger trash. You know, we had Care 11 News. Not that I'm aligned with everything they believe, but they did a fantastic segment called Recovery Inc. And they were actually exposing how drug rehabilitation treatment centers were misappropriating their billing. The U.S. Treasury is seeking to recoup COVID-19 pandemic relief funds from hundreds of local governments that received millions of dollars but never complied with requirements to report how they used the money. Where's it going? An enormous amount of aid money goes missing and we don't report on it. And we're not transparent about it, said Rory Stewart, until recently the president of the NGO gave directly and a former cabinet minister in the UK government. Housing stabilization, right? So in Minneapolis, 8 defendants have been federally charged with wire fraud for their roles in a massive housing stabilization fraud scheme.